Cara here from Poshcat Crafts. Nice of you to join me today. In this episode we're going to be making up our pages. The reason why we're doing the pages now, before we've decorated, is I want to get our pages in, and then we can then work on the cover once we've finished. Now we're not going to tidy this up just yet because we will need to hide some of our hardware on the back, so I always leave them till last, as the same with the front and the spines and etc. So with the pages, now I've had a bit of a dilemma with these because I wanted to make a fully 6x6 album, so an album that is, you know, you will take your full 6x6 pages. I had to sort of compromise on some things, because when they say a 6x6 album, normally it is although the album cover will be 6x6, the pages and that may be a bit smaller, etc. So that is why I have a dilemma. Because I've made our hinge measure 6 1/4, I have then had to cut my paper to suit to match. So what I've had to do is, so that we don't have to cut loads of different papers, etc, etc, this is what I've come up with. So this will be our page, okay, and it's going to fit across, it's going to fit onto our hinge like so. Now as you can see, this is a 12x12 paper, so it doesn't go up to 13 inches. So I've had this little bit here showing, which I thought, that doesn't look too good, so what can I do? So I thought I had a part of this already cut, which is what come off of this page. So instead of then putting it in my scrap drawer, I thought, let me see if I can use it. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to do like a wrap, like that. So we'll glue up the sides and up the sides here. We'll leave the top open because that's going to be another pocket for a tag, and then we fit and we hide that smaller piece there. So then to hide this part, I'm going to then put a flap over, and then that's going to hide this edge that is obviously too small. It's not going to make any difference to our page. It's going to be exactly the same, because this is going to keep that all together and all nice and straight and level. And then obviously we're going to put a piece over the top now. I did have one that I was just working on. Okay, this isn't going to be the piece because this is too small, but as you can see, once you put your page over like that, you'll then hide that the page is actually smaller. Okay, so that is what we're going to sort of do. Now I'm going to keep all the pages the same to a degree. I could maybe make them smaller. I haven't actually got that far yet because I want to try and use this offcuts here. So these are the offcuts that come off of this part, so we don't waste any of the sheet of paper. I thought these could maybe become little tiny tag books.Maybe we could maybe cut the edges or do something. So I thought we'll do something with them to make our tags, so that we're using every single bit of our page, which is new music to my ears. So the measurements. So get your 12x12 piece of cardstock, and we need to cut it down. So we're going to trim it to 6 1/4. Okay, 6 1/4. Put that one to a side, and then this one, the other side of it, we're going to cut this to 5 1/2. Okay, like so. And this is then the only piece of waste that we've got from our 12 by 12. So we're using all of our page, which is fantastic. So this then we need to score. So we're going to butt our page up so that the longer side is going down the left, not like this, okay? It needs to go this way. So butt the smaller edge up to the top, and then this is we're going to score this at 2 3/4. So 2 3/4, score down. Ooh. Just use a different score. There we go. And then fold over and burnish. Okay. Now with this we need our trimmer back, and then we need to trim this down to 6 1/4. Okay. So 6 1/4, so that's the bit we need. This is the bit that we're going to use our tags with. We could even make a little tag book with those. So we're not going to waste literally nothing. And then this page, this is going to be the base of your page. So you need to butt the longest side up to the top of your scoreboard, like so. And then this one we're going to score at 6 1/4. Okay. And then fold over and burnish down. Okay. So that is a page done. Okay, and then that's going to fit over there, and then it's going to hide this part here. So you won't even know, you wouldn't know that it was too short. So, to decorate, now I'm going to make a baby book, but you can obviously do whatever you like. You could make an art journal would be fantastic, because if you make lots of tags, because I know that a lot of art journalists do tags, you could then, because this is going to have a tag pocket, you could put all your tags that you make in there. You could make a sample book or a technique book even. That would be fantastic. That would be a lovely idea for somebody that does like to do art journals. You could then put loads of plain white tags or cream tags or different material tags into your book, and then they could decorate it how they wanted to. So that would be a lovely present for somebody. Right, before we stick everything all together, we are going to decorate our pages with our patterned paper. I just thought that would be better before we suck it all down, otherwise we're going to be trying to get it into the pocket, etc, etc. So I thought if we decorate it beforehand, then that alleviates that problem. So as I'm making a baby book, I'm just going to use some paper that I've got from one of those cheap stores, and because I just thought this was kind of baby type paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the hearts, and luckily we're going to be using the whole sheet, so you're not wasting any of the pattern paper either. So our measurements for this are, for the smaller side, because we've got a smaller page, we're going to cut this down to 5.5 by 6. Now this is our 6 width, so because this is directional, I'm going to cut this down to 6. Okay, make sure it's, keep this because we'll need that. 6 by 5.5. Okay, 6 by 5.5. Then this one should be 6. We can cut this side down to 6. Like so. And then again, that is the only part of this that we're going to waste, and you might not even need to waste that. You could use that as a sort of border for something, so don't throw anything away. so that's that side. So that then is going to go on like so. Okay. And what we're going to do, because I've used craft card, I'm just to tie the two together, I'm just going to edge the edge of the card, sorry, not the cardstock and the pattern paper with some Distress ink. Now this one is Ground Espresso. It's one of my favourite inks. I think it just goes with everything. But again, you could use whichever you like. I'm also going to do the craft card as well, and you'll see how good the card takes the paper. Takes the ink. So that's my one side. Again, you don't have to be too heavy-handed with this. It's just to give that touch of colour. Okay, and it's going to make this album sort of quite vintagey. Vintage feel. Now you don't really need to do the bottom because that's not going to be seen, but we'll do that anyway. And then don't forget the other side. I'm not going to do the bottom of that one. So again, I haven't got very much Distress ink on my blending tool. I'm just using what was on there previously. Okay, so that's that done. So we can go ahead and stick this bit down. So for this I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer, because the other glue, this glue here is, although it's good, it is really good, it's quite thick, which is good when you're sticking the craft card down, but I just wanted a thinner type of glue to go on the pattern paper. Okay, then stick this down. So that's that one side. Make sure it's down. Okay, let me do the other. And I'm just going to get it out. So all I've done is one little tap, and then that will be enough. As I say, it's just to give the edge of your paper a little bit of colour, and then it's going to blend in with the craft card. Because I always do, normally baby albums I always do them with white, and I thought this would be a bit of a nice change. And then we've got this then to go over the top. Now it's going to go like that, and that's right. So let me just move these out of the way, because I don't need that for just a minute. Now we could go with the other side, which I think I might do. I might do that because that then gives a nice sort of contrast. So let me have a think. Right, so this measures 2 3/4. So we're going to cut this part down. We're going to do it at 2 1/2 by 6. Okay, and that's on both sides. So that's 2 1/2 times 2. Lovely. Okay, so again, just edge these. And then that then is the start of our pages. Okay, and then we're going to move that because I don't need that now. Now you could do, if you wanted, you could just use your wet glue and bind the clips, which is what I think I might do. So I'm going to find them because I've moved them somewhere. Right, I found my clips. You can see parts of albums that I've chopped off the bits with. They get everywhere. Right, so for this we're going to put glue down both sides, not along the top. So both sides, and again on this one, and then we need to, right, what I'm going to do is I can't lay it down, otherwise you're going to smudge the glue. So I'm going to get it so that it is quite central, and I'm going to butt this edge up to the scored edge here. Okay, so let's have a go. So let's put that up. Okay, and get it so that it's equal both sides, and then push that bit down, and then that bit. Okay, then use your clips, and then that should hopefully keep that bit stuck. Now don't put glue anywhere else apart from where we've just said, because it's going to, we're going to need to slot it in, and then this edge here, so this part here that's open, that's going to slot over our hinge, and then this bit here we can then add a tag. Okay, so there. So we've got a tag pocket there and a tag pocket there. Now what else are we're going to do with this is we're going to add another flap. Right, we're going to do our flaps now. So what we'll need is, you'll need a sheet of craft card, and we're going to cut this down to, first of all, 6 inches. So if you cut it down to 6, and then this one should also be 6 because it's 12 by 12, and then cut it at 6 1/4. Okay, keep this wastage to the side because we're going to use that in a minute, and again do the same, 6 1/4. So we want our length of card that says 6 inches. We need that butted up to the top, and we're going to score down to 5 1/2. So score it at 5 1/2. Okay, fold and just check. There we go, and then that is our flap, like that. Okay, so that's one. Now you could put another one the other side if you wanted to, but I think I'm going to leave mine with one, and I'll put the other on one of the other pages that I do. So I'm just going to trim off the corners like I normally do off the, see, the diagonal. I'll just leave this, I don't need that anymore for me. And I can go ahead and stick this down because this is not going to interfere with any of the other parts that we are going to do. Just making sure that that's nice and level. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape for this, and somewhere here I've got the base one. Okay, and just put some along the inside flap. So remember to put it along the inside of the glue tab and not on the out. Okay. And then we can stick this down. So it needs to go inside, so inside the page that you've done, and it's not glued down, so that is that doesn't matter. So I'm going to start with one corner and just push it along, and then come up to there like so. And I'm just going to use bone folder just to strengthen that fold. Okay, so then that is our flap. Now if you want to, you could decorate the edges. You could have put it through and die cut a lovely edge. I'm just going to leave it plain because I want to try and get this video done. I may round the corners at a later stage, but I'm going to leave that like that. Now I'm not going to stick it all down just yet. I'm going to leave it for the moment because we will need to sort of decorate it first. But what I might do is just chop down. Oh, there we go. So it's okay. It wasn't. There we go. So now we can decorate. So with our pattern papers. Now again, as I've done on the others, I've used some ink, some distress ink, just to ink around the edges, and this page is going to be no different. So you want to do that now before you add your papers, and remember to do both sides. Done. Okay, now you're not going to see this obviously because that's then going to be covered by that, so that's going to hide that there. Okay, just ink this side now. Right, so they're all done. So then now's the tricky part. You need to pick your pattern papers. Done those for my first, so let's have a look what we can do then for the second page. They're quite nice. Let's go with hearts and flowers. We could have flowers. They would look quite nice. Let's go with the flowers. Do that one in a moment. So we can have the flowers. That looks really nice. Okay, so the measurements again for this are, get my piece of paper. So the flap is there. That measures, I think that's 5.5. So the flap there is 5.5. So we want that to be 5.25. So flap is 5.25 by 6.25. And then these ones are 5.5 by 6.25, and then it's 6 and 6, and then I think it's 2.5 by and I think this one is 2.5 by 6 1/4. 2.5 by 6. That's right. So we need our school board, not school board, our trimmer. So again, just ink the edges. Just then ties all of the colours together. So then that's them all inked. Now to assemble. So I'm going to use this one first, because that is, it goes on there like that. So let's start. Okay, so with this we need, it's going this way there, isn't it? And that is the front. So again, remember to put your glue only on the sides. Don't do it on the tops or the bottoms. And make sure you get it on the right one. So it goes like that. So it's going along the bottom there. So push it into the corner, sorry, into the score line that you've made on the part that you're doing, and then just fold up gently and then burnish down. Okay, that should stick. So I'm just going to push that over, use our binding clips just to keep that nice and secure, and again on this one. Now you could use double-sided tape if you wanted to. I just wanted to be a bit more some peace of mind that it's going to stay stuck, because it is going to get quite a bit of wear and tear. So we'll leave that to set before we then decorate this part. But that is one, so I need to cut one more. But what I think I might do is I might leave the ones inside until right at the last minute and see if we've got any spare. So, okay, right, so let's just stick this bit down. I'll take them off and we're going to put that on there. Okay, that sticks and that sticks. And then this one, I'll put that on and need to do this side first. Blame the heat. Okay, so now I'm just going to stick those down because I think that side has relatively stuck. So I'm going to stick those to the side. And then this is going to go on, I don't know, I'm going to have that side showing. It's going to go on like that. I know what I forgot to put on is our magnetic snaps. but that's not too bad because I can get them possibly, if I use my thick ones, get the big guns out. So I can put them on this side and then put one underneath there. So I could put it so it's down here, or up there, or in the middle. I don't suppose it really makes much difference. Right, we'll put it in the middle. So stick a bit of glue on there. And the little trick I've just found out is get your metal pokey tool and it sticks on, so then you can put it in place, hold it so it sticks, and then this one should then, to move that up a bit there, and I'm going to put some glue on this side, just close that up, and then hopefully that is going to then stick onto this side, and then when we do our pattern paper on this side, it's going to cover it. Okay, so that there is another one we've done, so that's 2 we've finished. So I'm just making sure that's it, that goes that side, and then that is the, yeah. So that's 2 pages down, so we're getting there slowly but surely. So I can take these off now, I think. So there's our 2 pages. We've made our 2 pages. Now I think we're just going to alternate these pages to make the book quicker, and then we can add lots of bits in afterwards. So we've got 1 page that we've just got the pockets on either side through there, and then this one is going to have the flap on the side as well with a snap. Now I thought that's what we'll do, so we need to make another 2 of these, this page, and another 2 of this page. Now I don't know if you want me to, I'll do 1 more and then we'll go through the same process again, and then what I'll do is I'll speed the rest up so that it's not too boring for you. So we need to cut our 12 by 12 card down to 6 1/4. Okay, so that's our 6 1/4 one there. The tag pocket needs to be 5 1/2. So 5 1/2, and then we can either chop it down now to 6 1/4 and then score in the middle, and then we've got a bigger piece here that we can use for something else. Okay, so then that's those. Now our scoreboard. So the page, we'll do the page first. That needs to be scored at 6 1/4. Okay. And then fold it in half, and then you will have the overlap on this one. But it's not going to matter because the tag pocket's going to cover it. And then this one at the 5 1/2, so the side with the 5 1/2 measurement, you need to score this one at 2 3/4. I'm just going to turn that over. 2 3/4. Okay, and then burnish down, and then that is going to then fit over that side, and then that hides that overlap. Okay, so that's another page done. So that's 3. So you just need to then cut your flap out, and the flap is 6 1/4 by 5 1/4, and then do another 5 1/4, because then that's 2 flaps, and then we've just got that bit of wastage. Now we need to score the flap. I'm just going to check. So with the flap, you want to butt the side that measures 5 1/4 up to the top here. Okay, so that there is the, we're going to score downwards. So make sure that the side that is measures 5 1/4 is up the top. We're going to score at 4 3/4, and then that should give a lovely glue tab. So that's another page done. So this is our pages so far. Now I'm not going to stick our pages in because I thought we can decorate them first. So that would be one page that's in. So it'd be like that, and then we've got our flap one here. Now as you can see here, you can see as my page is flipped over, you can see a little bit of that double-sided tape. Now to alleviate that problem, that's what I said, make sure you put your tape as near to the top here as you can, so that you don't see it along the bottom. But I think once I get that stuck in, you won't see it anyway. So I'm going to put this ones to the side, and we're going to then decorate our covers. Now I'm going to do the flap ones first. I thought what we'd do is, because this side is is shorter, we're going to have that to the back, so that's going to work as our tag, tag pocket, sorry. And then this one here I'm going to leave open so that we can have that as a flap. Let's get our pattern paper in to cut. So this was the pattern paper that I'm going to use. I got it from one of the cheap shops. I don't know if you can see that label there, so you may be able to work out where it comes from. I really like this pattern, the paper in this particular pad, because I think you can use it for so many different things. As I'm using it for a baby album, I just thought it was, yeah, I love this swirl, so I think I'm going to use that swirls next. We haven't used that one yet. So I just thought it was, you know, quite fitting for babies or young children even. So some of it maybe not, but you know, that's, you can use that in other things. Right, so I'm going to use this one with the swirls because I quite like this one, and then also use this one on the back as well, the striped spots. So let's get cutting. So what I'll do is I may speed this up because you've seen me add them already, and that way you're not sitting around waiting for ages. Remember, when you cut your paper, if it's directional, remember to work out which direction you want your paper to go. So for instance, my album is going to be facing me this way, so I want my papers obviously come horizontal more than vertical. So I would cut them sort of like this. So this side here, I would cut at the larger, which is the 6 inches. So if we do that now, so that's 6 inches. Cut. Keep that to the side. By 6 inches. So we'll use that side, so that will fit on there like that. Okay, so that's 1. And then this one is at 5.5, I believe. So is that 6 inches by 5.5 inches there? And then that then should be the smaller size. Yep. Okay, and then we need this one. Now we're going to use this side of the paper. It needs to be 6. So 6 by 2.5 and 2.5 again. And then this one should be enough for our flap, which goes that way, so that should be 6. So that is 6. And what did we say our flap was? 4.5 by 6. And then that should be then the flap. Yep. Okay, we've cut all our pages out and our pattern paper. So now what we're going to do is we're going to assemble. Now I'm going to assemble the 2 pages with just the tag pockets on first, and then we'll do the flaps later. Okay, so let's start to assemble. So I am going to fast forward this so that it's not too boring for you, but before you stick down you need to remember to ink your edges if that is what you're going to do as well. So it just makes it easier to ink now than what it would do if it was already on the card. And as I'm just inking just the edges, just to give a slight coloration to the paper. And then don't forget to do your craft card as well. As I've said in the beginning of this video, this craft card really does take ink extremely well. Because some craft card will change the colour. This seems to be to keep the colour, and especially good on when you're using your dark distress inks. And this ink is Ground Espresso. It's my favourite dark ink. So that's them 2 done. Oh, one more. No, that goes with that. There. Okay, let's stick these together. As you can see, I did forget to ink this, so I'm just having, luckily it hadn't stuck down properly before I was able to ink it up. Otherwise it does make it a little bit more difficult. Okay, so stick these on. I've inked all my edges now, so they're all done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a page now at a time, and then we can then move on. We've already done 2 pages, which we did on camera. I don't know if the other one is just here. So we've done these 2 pages, and those ones are very nearly complete, so they are really at least ready to decorate. But I want to do the rest of the pages before we go on to something like that. So we're going to stick these down, but before we stick them down, obviously we need to add our magnets and bits like that. So, and this page is going to be a flap page, and how I'm going to do it is with the flap, I'm going to have it so that my flap fits over the top like that, and then this is going to be, instead of this being a tag pocket, it's going to act as a flap. But I'm going to add the flap first. So the flap, we need to put our double-sided tape on the inside. Like so. And I'm not going to angle these edges, I'm going to leave these edges on because I want them to sit flush, so that when we put our pattern paper over the top, you're not going to see the join. Okay, so it'd be sort of something like that. Okay, so let's stick it down. Take off the, now with the flap I really want it to be so that the flap is on the long side. Being that is that when we've put our pocket on, we want the this side of the pocket to hide the bit that it's because it's too short. So it needs to go this way. Okay, burnish down, and then that's the start of our flap. I'm just going to enhance that score line just so that it sits a bit more flush. Okay, so that's that part. Now we can then go ahead and turn it over and do this side, so we can add our pattern paper. So that goes on there like so. Now I use I was going to say cotton shimmer. I use Cosmic Shimmer glue on my albums. I also use Kalau glue. That's very good. I find Kalau glue is very good if you've got thin paper. It doesn't tend to buckle. Well, I've not found that it buckles anyway on the things that I've tried. Okay, so that's that. And then we can go ahead then and add this side. So we just need to put our double-sided, sorry, not double-sided, we need to put our glue just along the edges like so, and then hold and stick down. I also find this Cosmic Shimmer glue does tend to stick quite quickly. It's got a good adhesive drying time, should I say. Okay, so I'm just going to get our clips and just hold that in place because it doesn't seem to be sticking. Okay, so that's that done. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry. Okay, so don't worry about this extra part here because this is going to, actually what I should have done is put some glue under there. Just going to add a little bit of glue under here. Like so, just a tiny bit, it's just to keep that down. Put a bit too much on there. And then that will just keep that bit closed. Okay. Okay, so that is nearly enough finished. So we can now work on this side. Now I'm going to add, just trying to work out, so this is going to be my front with the tag in there, and then this turns over and it's going to flap and flap open. So we just need to work out now where we're going to put our magnets. Now I'm going to have 4 I think. So I think I'm going to have them on this side. So one there and one there. So if I just put some glue on them. Okay. Just wait for that to dry a little bit. Might need to move them up a touch. That's better. And then these ones are going to sit. I'm going to have them under. Actually, I should put them on the top. Yeah, I can put them on the top here. They should stick well on there. So let's just put a bit of glue on. A bit of glue. I think that's stuck. Okay, so that is them stuck. So now we can just go ahead and put our, so this is the pattern paper that goes over the top. Okay, then we just need to then add this bit. It's going to go over like so. And then that hides those magnets. Okay. So then that there is near enough of finish, so that's good, and they're sticking, which is always a good sign. So although that's that way, it doesn't matter, it's fine. Wiggle it over a little bit. Okay. So that then is that bit finished. We just need to add this part. Okay. And that's another one done. So we're going to just add a bit of, we're going to finish these bits off, so I need to cut them. So we need to be, so that's 6, so 6 across, like so. So then this needs to be 4.5. That's that one, and then this bottom one needs to be, so that's also 6 there by 2.5. Okay, so that's looking good. So don't forget to edge them. One and this one can go on just there. That's it for me today. I'm going to leave it there. We've done our other page. We've done like a flap. I really like the flap, so it opens up like so. That would be how it is, and then that's the next page with the tags in. I was going to finish all of the pages in one video, but I think it's going to take longer than that, so because I want to add different bits and I want to try and do some die cutting to include. Actually really busy over the next couple of days, so I might be quiet on social media and things like that, but don't worry, I will be back. It's just that I've got some deadlines that I need to work to, and I'm sort of out and about, so I will definitely be back to finish these, so please don't think I've just left it there. If you like this video, please give me a like and comment down below. As always, all the links to my social media are down in the description as well. All you have to do is click on them and it will take you to your favourite, whichever that may be. I would love it if you become a subscriber of mine, and that so that you can keep up to date on all my videos that I post. I'm trying to aim for a video post a day or every other day, depending on how long or intricate the project that I'm doing is. So with that said, please share this video as well. I would much appreciate it, and that more people can come and learn from my techniques that I do. So with that said, I will love and leave you wherever you are in the world. Either have a good evening or good morning wherever you are, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.